Hey guys, Dazzler Magic here, and Alta Fox is back in the news again. If you're not familiar, they're the ones who own 2.5% of Hasbro and tried to use that leverage to tell them to fix their crap, and very, very justifiably so. They showed the charts, the numbers, that they got the receipts, and they invested knowing that there was growth potential, and then they want to come in and kind of accelerate it. So instead of just, oh, I know nothing about this company, I hope they get their act together or launch something new so that the price goes up. They're like, okay, this is being mismanaged. Let's, throw millions of dollars at it and then tell them, hey, we want change because now we own a bunch of your company. Not like, 51% hostile takeover amounts. They don't, play like that. And they're one of the more responsible hedge funds out there, to be honest. They don't just pull out the rug from under them and say, hey, we found a better thing. Oh, Apple's coming out with some new thing. We're going to move our millions of dollars there. Oh, well, sell off. Kiss your stock price goodbye. We don't care. Not our problem. They do the opposite. They're like, we are in for the long haul, but seriously, you need to fix your crap. Now, I don't know when they bought in, but I think it's pretty safe to say, based on Hasbro's stock price lately, that they have lost lots of money. And their issue with Hasbro is that the executives are awful. They never get replaced. They all take ridiculously giant bonuses. Even for executives, they take way too high of bonuses. Their company's underperforming almost any company their size, and all of their acquisitions are crap and just drove up their debt. I wouldn't say they're on the verge of collapse, but they really are pressuring WOTC, Wizards of the Coast, owners of Magic the Gathering, to keep paying them bigger and bigger checks. And that's what's been behind all of this cash grab crap that's ruining the game, the power ramp, everything in the last 4 years. So that's the super high level view of what they want done. They released fairly recently, actually, another statement to Yahoo Finance, and I think it was probably just a general press release as well. And they did it because, Hasbro stock is at a year-long low, and I don't mean calendar year, I mean 52-week low. So I got to talk with Alta Fox, and they took what I said into consideration, but it was a caffeine-fueled nightmare about 5 minutes after I woke up, and I didn't have time to prepare for it at all because I was busy, ironically, doing my taxes. So it was pretty much a shit show, but they got where I was coming from. I don't think that they entirely believed me, though. But whatever, I could have put together a really compelling PowerPoint that they would have been like, okay, this is insightful, interesting, and detailed. I was all over the place, and it is what it is. But I kind of saw the writing on the wall, and it's not like they were paying me 10 grand to be a consultant. Okay, I'd make a real nice PowerPoint for 10K, but it's not like I, expected them to pay me. I just wanted them to know what they're getting into, and I'll inform anyone. I mean, that's what I make this channel about anything that WOTC is doing right or wrong or lying about, or where they're saying they're doing great and it's a record year when any other metric is they're dying. So a lot of people at Alta Fox are Magic players, and they're competitive Magic players. We're talking, GP players, possibly Pro Tour, I don't know. So that's why they were like, hey, we should look into this, But if you think you're coming in knowing Magic and knowing the community and knowing the product when you come in from the pro scene, no. I mean, WOTC keeps hiring people from the pro scene, and that's pretty much what's wrong with play design and product testing. So they were way off on certain things and just were not interested in hearing the truth. And, look at their stock price. I'm not just going to say, they should have listened to me. I'm just some guy. They don't know me. My presentation was crap, okay? But everything I said about, hey, watch out for early 2022 is coming true. So, oh well. But yeah, Alta's, what they said to me, generally, I don't want to give away too many details because it's not like I signed an NDA, but, their money is kind of tied up because it's not 100% their money. They're a hedge fund. So for complicated reasons, they can't just take all their money and say goodbye and pull it out of Hasbro. They have contracts and long-term agreements and that kind of stuff and portfolio stuff. They can't just sell, hold it as cash, and especially in this inflation. So they're kind of stuck. And I think that's why Hasbro isn't listening to them. Also, Hasbro is run by dumb boomer millionaires who only care about their bonuses and keeping the company alive. They don't innovate. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know anything about games. They're stuck in the past, and they suck at everything they do and everything they touch. All their acquisitions are crap, and everything they try to do is 10 years too late, out of date. It's I'm surprised they didn't say, let's try and make a streaming service. They're that level of, let's try this. It's yeah, that might have worked 10 years ago. You really think you're innovating there? So they wanted some board members, not necessarily replaced, but they wanted a board of directors to make some additions, and their recommendations were perfect. And since at least WOTC, but maybe Hasbro is a bunch of SJW assholes, Not actually implying cause and effect, but just so that they'd go for it. I think like 2 or 3 of the recommendations were women, and they're women who really have nice resumes. Like they work for, I think one of them was like Microsoft, another one was like a gaming company, some of them work in finance, marketing. Hire these people. And one of them was like a pro player who also knows business. So allegedly Hasbro's kind of contemplating making some of the changes, but generally Alta Fox is like, we're shocked that they're not listening to us. I think the exact quote is, we are stunned that the company is not compromising. So, okay, if somebody owns 2.5% of my business, buys it up, and then says, hey, we bought it up because we think you're operating it wrong. Here, come listen to us. I'd be like, 2.5%? You know what? If you're going to be annoying and demanding and come in like some Karen saying you want to, see the manager and we need to do things your way, you know what? You can take your 2.5% and sell it right back. Which, as I mentioned, they can't, and it's not a secret that they can't. They're a freaking hedge fund, not venture capital. Also, Hasbro listens to approximately nobody. If I were them and if I had more funds available, I would buy up to 10% of Hasbro and then be like, listen to us now, or we're going to pump and dump you hard. And plus, they could double down. I think the stock was normally hovering around 100. I think it's at like 80 right now. You ever heard the term buy the dip? But I made up my own saying, which is don't invest in companies run by absolute morons who are self-serving, greedy assholes with terrible track records. But see, that's what they do. They're activist investors. And without going way off on this story, I should mention that Alta Fox previously invested in a card grading company. So if you know about some changes that they made in their idiotic business that could have been monetized better and made more efficient, well, you probably know who I'm talking about. So that was their last project. Now they've moved on. That was at least my understanding. So they know what they're doing and it works, and they know the industry because they participate in it. They're not like, oh, numbers on a page. What's this magic thing? But also, everything I've been able to gather is that like everybody at the company is younger than me. Look, it might work and they really seem to know finance, but you really got to be in your 30s at least to have a level of wisdom to be tossing around millions of dollars, okay? I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying I think I've put, 2 and 2 together here for cause and effect on why they're so surprised and why the stock price is dropping. And I guess that surprises them too. I mean, isn't that the I was born after the year 2000 thing to say, I can't believe they're not listening to us? And yeah, I don't think anybody, there's actually like 20, but maybe, I don't know, they don't look that old to me. So Hasbro's response so far has been Hasbro's committed to engaging with all shareholders in a constructive and thoughtful manner, which is obviously not true. In keeping with that commitment, Hasbro's board of directors and management team have had multiple conversations with Alta Fox to listen to its views. Listen to, by the way, not act on, listen to. And their views, God, could they be more like passive-aggressive dismissive? And attempt to come to a resolution of this campaign in a matter that is in the best interest of all shareholders. So they're like, our other shareholders are fine with us misrepresenting magic numbers, treating WOTC like a piggy bank, not spinning off the company, which is never going to happen ever. And you know what? We're lying. We just want our bonuses. So we ain't listening to a damn thing you say. And a Hasbro spokesperson told that directly to Yahoo Finance via email. So I will say Alta's not completely clueless. The math is sound, the plan is sound, everything. But the realism and thinking that Hasbro would listen to them and then being shocked when they don't, that's as naive as you can get. So it's a real mixed bag over there. So they know Hasbro's ruining Wizards of the Coast. They made that very, very clear when I talked to them, and I was impressed with their knowledge. It was a lot higher than I thought. If they were to spin off WOTC into its own company like it used to be, but retain a stake in them, they think that each company could be worth $100+ in stock value. That's where they say, oh, the stock could be $200 a share. That's where they get that from. Yeah, as 2 companies, they could stand on their own and both be 100. I absolutely agree, completely. But I also agree with my own assessment that they will do that when hell freezes over because WOTC is the only thing propping them up, and going from full take to partial stake is just stupid, and then letting them make all the decisions they want. Hasbro's too stupid to realize that would work. Taking the pressure off and just letting them go back to doing pro-consumer stuff. Yeah, they still suck at designing cards, but it's clear that something beyond just incompetence and carelessness and letting Mark get too crazy has been going on for the last 4 years, and now it's all coming out that it was just this. It was Hasbro breathing down their necks. So my main issues with Alta is, like, they told me, basically to my face over a computer screen, we think that getting back into the pro scene is huge. It's very important for the income. I informed them that multiple high-level and C-level executives and staff members at WOTC have all universally said the pro scene is just there to be like this fun thing, and 99.8% plus of players don't touch it, don't participate in it, and I mean, like, I'm not counting F&M, but we're talking GPs, Pro Tours, all that. And basically, like, they were, I guess, surprised by that, thought it was wrong, thought I was wrong. I'm like, no. Nobody respects the pro scene. They can't get anybody to watch it. They've ruined it. Their moderators on Twitch have ruined it. Just rampant cheating. All the constant winners all cheating on their girlfriends, let alone at the game. They're all just terrible people. I mean, all the card adding, the crooked judges who care more about your skin color than what the actual card rulings are, although that's more of a problem at, I'm not going to get into it. The other former tournament holding company, let's put it that way. And they wanted it to be an esport, and people just don't watch it like they do FPS games and other popular games. And I get it, MTG Arena is popular. I guess I could say at this point it was popular, but they lost all the coders, and their tournaments have been a disaster. They're all glitchy messes, and there's active cheats that are still going on to this day. I just got confirmation this morning that somebody got hit by, we'll just call it the highlight glitch, where somebody could basically, like, selectively DDoS your client, I guess, but with like actions from the server and lock up your client, especially if you're on a phone. So if somebody's like a finalist, or it's like day 2 of some big $2,000 tournament where you could, win $2,000, $3,000, $3,500, whatever it's at these days. If somebody really wants it gone, I'm not going to say how they do it, but like anybody can very simply set up some free software where if your computer's a little bit slower, you're on mobile, they'll just nuke your computer. They'll disconnect you from the server by taking too many actions, and you'll be lucky if you can get back in. You can't have a digital pro league like that. They fired all their streamers. They pissed off Channel Fireball. There is no way for them to hold pro level tournaments. They'd have to throw millions at it in camera gear, staff, and hold them themselves. They said there's no interest in it. To expect them to do that, or to even think and be that out of touch and clueless, to think that pro Magic and competitive play is going to bring back this huge, like, thing. Esports in general are kind of blowing up, but like they're cooling off, and people jump around from game to game to game, and it's whatever's popular. Okay, I mean, Rocket League, League of Legends, Fortnite, Warzone, a couple others like that, people still tune in to watch, and they like big competitive stuff with giant prize pools. But WOTC is just, they're too out of touch, and they don't put enough effort. They don't have the funds. They should stay away from the pro scene. And like I said, 99.8% or more, according to Wizards' own numbers I heard stated at one point, of people don't care about, don't participate in, don't have anything to do with the pro league, so they just do it for the prestige and because it's fun. It's not a profit center. It's not a marketing outreach. It's just something they did, and because they were losing money and Hasbro kept wanting more and more and more money, they cut pro everything and just blamed it on COVID. If I remember the timeline correctly, Channel Fireball events closed, they completely folded way before COVID. Okay, that went down before any of this started. The vendors were pulling out. There wasn't any money in it. It's just, Wizards would have to throw so much money at it, and it doesn't return anything. And they tried the big flashy prizes. They tried the multi-million-dollar tournaments, and then they're just like, this is doing nothing. This is getting us nothing. The return on investment is nothing. So for Alta to be like, yes, one of our key things that we think they should do is get back into competitive Magic because it'll make so much money. They don't even seem to know how the tournaments work, okay? Like, it's just, nobody cares. They don't know the community. They're just, we go to GPs and Pro Tours and stuff, and we used to. So that's what's important to us, so that must be what's important to everyone. Like, you gotta look outside your own bubble and ignore your own biases and say, we're gonna look at it objectively. And they don't do that. Like, that's the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Alta Fox's out-of-touch cluelessness. They did their research, they did their homework, their, 100-slide PowerPoint is extremely accurate, makes very good points, but they're missing the little side details, and they're also missing the bigger picture. They didn't even mention their stupid activist SJW bullshit. They could be the most successful company in the world otherwise and start pulling that shit, and people are just going to be driven away. It's 2022. People are done with that crap. They're done with Biden. They're done with the Democrats. They're done with certain competitive athletes that are controversial right now. They're done with all this shit. Okay, they played along because otherwise, I'm going to get canceled, I'll get fired from my job, whatever. And now they're just like, you know what? Nah. It's been enough years of this crap. We're done with it. We're going to the school board meeting. We're pushing them out. We're getting rid of them. We're voting them out. We're done. We're done listening to this lunacy. Now that you're coming for my kids and trying to teach kindergarten this pervy crap. No, SJWs are canceled, okay? So their top priority at Alta should be getting the psychotic lefty lunatics who care more about politics and their fake made-up morals and their pervy crap out of the company. That should be priority number one, because they are a toxic, money-wasting, I don't care how many customers leave, I'm going to die on this hill assholes, okay? They have to go, the end, period. That's where you start, okay? That's not, a little side thing we might address at some point. No. And if you think that SJWs that run companies in executive level and manager positions just step aside because they're losing money, then you haven't been studying history for the last 10 years, okay? But some of these people were like in middle school 10 years ago, I think. So like I said, I hate to hate on them, but like they looked really young and inexperienced to me. That's how I was like, big old man wise Des, who's in his 30s. I'll at least contact him and tell him what I know and some behind the scenes things, see what they know, compare notes. And they just did not seem too interested in listening to me. But like I said, I was not prepared at all. I think I sounded like a ranting crazy person instead of a nice organized financial thing. But like I said, I didn't have 10 hours to put that shit together, okay? I just wanted to give them the gist, and they haven't contacted me since. Whatever, they can go burn for all I care. If you're going to step into something that clueless and think you're that entitled and, we hit it out of the park with a grading company, so we're going to come in and, do it with a big target, that's some I'm going to be the next Steve Jobs, Elizabeth what's-her-face thing with the Theranos. Or Fire Festival. We got to take big risks to get big rewards. Yeah, but you don't know what you're doing. You can either just lie and cheat and steal and yell at people and steal other people's patents and shit like Steve Jobs did, or you could actually run your business better than everyone else. Chick-fil-A, the most successful at the individual level restaurant of all time, from a sheer profit margin and investment and ROI standpoint. They just are careful. They are better. Everyone knows what they're doing. And if they're bad at their job, they get rid of them. That's how you run a company. That's how you crush your competition. You can't just, we won with this small grading company, and so now we can do anything. We need to take big risks like all those big historic people from Silicon Valley that we heard about. Woo, we're such cool finance people. Yeah, no, I think you need a reality check, and now they feel stuck, and they're, like I said, remember that statement, we are stunned that the company is not compromising. You're stunned that a multi-billion-dollar company doesn't listen to somebody who bought 2.5% of their stock, really? Because I'm not. A company known for being stubborn and not listening to outside advisors, you're stunned that they're not listening to you. You shouldn't be, and it was naive to think they would. So that's my big beef with Alta Fox, is they don't get it. They don't understand the Magic community or the product at all. And let's just be honest, Magic is Hasbro at this point, because nothing that they're doing is making money besides Magic. Which is why it is idiotic to say that they're ever going to spin off WOTC. I think if I remember correctly, they said something to the effect of do you really expect them to do it? And they're like, no, but it would work. So we at least pitched it. I think it was the big ask. It was, you say, hey, completely cut off WOTC and make them a new company. And then that's the big ask. And then you ask for what you really want. So that's what's going on with that. I just wanted to update you guys. It's way overdue, but I just wanted to see what would happen. And I wanted the new CEO, Chris Cox, to come in and just see what he does, because I know that the timing on him coming in as new CEO and then Alta Fox's actions were not coincidence. They want him to run it differently. Unfortunately, he has very limited anything compared to the board of directors from what I heard. Any true decision making. If he went off, they would replace him. That's what a board does. It's either rich, disconnected guys driving around in Ferraris who just keep collecting checks and don't care what the company actually does, but they show up for a meeting quarterly, or it's okay, let's install some puppets and just ride this on out and give ourselves the biggest bonus as possible while hoping the company doesn't tip over. Yeah, that's Hasbro. And then at least one or two of them are ooh, diversity, we're going to change the world at any cost. Well, that any cost is your stock price, so enjoy that one. When it starts to affect their pocketbooks, usually people kind of get real. And it's getting so psychotic with this lefty shit that even I heard Jon Stewart last night or something had trouble reading the stupid written propaganda crap that they put up on his teleprompter. So I got to look into that. I only saw the headline and the summary, but I'm if even he's what the heck? And it wasn't he the one who was okay, seriously, with the lab leak thing, he's you've got to be kidding me that you don't think this is real. And just everybody was stunned. I think that was him, right? He is a propaganda spouting douche, but he has a brain. Even some celebrities are coming out and they're this is not okay that a dude is swimming against women, okay? testosterone is illegal. It's not even like a rights thing. It's a fairness thing. They're not like, oh, this is all made up and genders are made up and the left is evil. They're just like, this is wrong and I'm drawing the line. Like, people are just, they've had enough. They keep getting more and more and more extreme, and so does WOTC and so does Hasbro. If you didn't see the massive leak of Hasbro's mandatory training for all employees, that included like, oh, if you're white, you're awful and you should feel ashamed for yourself. Or whatever. Yeah, that's the level they're at. That's why I'm bringing this up, because they're losing people, they're losing talent, they're losing money. It's all the signs of, oh, look, lefties took over my company, and there's the result. Look at your stock price. Just another reason that Alta Fox should get a clue, and they should focus on the real problems and tell them, get rid of your problematic employees, get rid of your problematic management, and then focus on the business decisions. Then maybe look at WOTC, or at least just stop, breathing down their neck saying, well, you got more money? You got more money? We need more money. Hit you up for money. Give me that money. And don't push for competitive anything. They're not going to do it. The pro-level Magic is dead. It should be. It deserved to be, and there's no resurrecting it. And if they did it, it would just be a fun project to waste $50 million on, because it sure as hell wouldn't return anything. Okay, just what it is what it is. They insisted, oh, but players all aspire to, and I'm like, hold up. Not only are 90% of their customers, by count, not by volume, but still, kitchen table casual, and they don't even know or care that some big tournament's going on, and they don't tune into Twitch to watch it. But also, statistic. Statement by WOTC. Statement by WOTC themselves. Statement by Mark Rosewater. They all paint the picture that pro ain't worth it. So the fact that you're pushing them to go back to pro to, quote, make money, you're actually insane. And I hate to drive that point home because it's such a, kind of small thing, but it just shows how off-base Alta is. They know enough about what they're talking about to think that 100% of what they're talking about and their picture of everything is correct. It is not. And here's where we're at now. They're stunned that they're not being listened to, nothing is happening, and they probably just lost them double-digit millions of dollars because their stock price is going down the toilet. And let me just say, let's just back up a little bit. If you're invested in some dumb luxury shit that people don't need, like entertainment or toys or anything that Hasbro does, instead of food, pharmaceuticals, like if you're selling jewelry and boats or something, that's who you're invested in, you're an idiot right now, okay? We're about to see the worst worldwide food shortages ever. Russian fertilizer exports and neon gas shortages for chip litho, and you can't make cars, you can't make anything with chips, you can't make appliances, and electronics and a food shortage at the same time, worldwide, that's not good. And we're 4 or 5 years out from the American and German chip plants, the Intel fabs coming online. And Intel is bleeding money like you wouldn't believe. So if you're invested in a company that makes dumb shit that people don't need, when inflation and unemployment and just everything is out of control, crime is out of control, and then on top of it, food's going up 10, 20, 30%, pull out now. I don't care if WOTC fixes themselves or not. The market's going to crash. It's that simple. Go buy real estate or something that people actually need. I mean, not that I'm giving investment advice, but they should look at something more like 20% of their portfolio in multiple renewable techs, battery tech, battery patents, lithium commodities, any new battery patents, production, carbon-plated nickel, that just came out today. It's a replacement for platinum in hydrogen fuel cells. Yeah, you should buy up whoever makes nickel. Plus nickel just went up. That's kind of why, by the way. I suspect insider trading leaked information. Bit of a tangent. Not going to go off on that one, but if you are not invested in something important to human beings surviving that they need on a daily basis, then you're an idiot. So I get it. They're stuck. They've got contracts, but I would just back out on them. I would just be like, okay, we can either sit here and lose money or we can, not. I think the stakeholders in Alta would understand. Just be like, everything's going to shit. We're buying a 51% controlling share in a long shelf life food company. We're buying 4 Patriots, which they suck, don't buy from them. We're buying ReadyWise, also they suck, don't buy from them. But see, isn't that exactly what it sounds like Alta would do? Oh, I don't know, we're going to do no research. I don't know, their sales numbers are good, cool. Why don't you look up the reviews? Why don't you jump on YouTube and look at people reviewing ReadyWise and 4 Patriots? 4 Patriots are borderline scammers, their products are crap and people hate them from what I heard. And ReadyWise, I'd rather eat my own shoes. Review coming on my EST Prepper channel, which you should subscribe to. Even I'm moving off of Magic the Gathering. I just realized that. That just clicked with me. I'm not even kidding. I'm moving off of covering games and card games and stuff that's doing terrible and Hasbro and WOTC and their products, and I'm moving into prepper stuff, safety stuff, And my new channel, I'm not even kidding, is making about 1/6 to 1/5 the amount of this channel. With 3K subs, I'm making only about 5 times less. With less views, because that's where the advertisements are. If I get sponsorships, I might as well just retire. I might as well just quit my new job. With 3K subs, okay? I adapt and I go where the money is, and I research my decisions before I shift into them. Not just, oh cool, let's continue on cards. We like playing Magic, so this will be cool and work out. Well, it didn't. So hope your shareholders aren't too mad there, Alta. But yeah, you and Hasbro are both in trouble. And look, I gave you my 2 cents poorly. But, well, it was free. Free advice is worth every penny. You probably should have listened to me. I get why you didn't, but you probably should have. So that's the shape of it, everybody. And let me just say, okay, I got a job at a place that by law cannot close. And I turned down a job, I am not kidding, that pays $6 an hour higher because I didn't like what they did and I didn't like the owners and it wasn't very durable. So if everything goes great, depression starts going to shit, I want to work for a place that literally they will like send in the National Guard to operate the place because it cannot close. And I'm purposely working at a place where, to be perfectly honest, they're short-staffed, but then also I'm their best worker. Yes, it's been a handful of weeks and I'm already their best worker. Not even just in my opinion, empirically. Yeah, I still need some more training, but yeah, I was a bit overqualified for this job. They've already got me doing weird side duties and I kind of got like side promoted. So I will be fired approximately never. My job is secure. And if anything, I'll get a raise for them to retain me, which is kind of funny. So I'm not saying go quit your job tomorrow, but I will add in at the end, if you work for like a jewelry store, you're getting fired probably within 2 years. I'm just going to say it. When they go bankrupt, you should probably go work for a food company or a delivery company or like a transport, logistics, anything. I mean, a school, hospital, the army, an airport, I guess. I don't know about that for sure. Go work somewhere important if you sell really, really dumb, unnecessary stuff. Oh, a food distributor, good lord. Yeah, that'll close never. Grocery store, come on. Night Stalkers, that starts at like $20 an hour. I almost got that job. You want to be somewhere stable for the next couple of years if it's not like some dream career and you don't really care where you work, okay? You just want to get good pay and then go home for an easy job, you know? So that's just your old man Des advice for the day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.